2, 1, go. Today, we're gonna be talking about instant hot water. And I'm not the first person to discover this or invent it by any means, but I'm doing a retrofit in my house. I'm gonna talk about some of the things that I did to make it smarter, as well as some of the limitations on why it might be a good fit or it may not be a good fit for you. Now let's get out of this bathroom because the echo is absolutely terrible. Before we dive deep into my exact setup, I'm just gonna tell you the things that we purchased. So we purchased the pump, we purchased a PEX line to run from our master bathroom all the way back to the hot water heater. We did not invent this. I'll show you a diagram here. If you just Google this is a very common thing to do. But we added a twist on it by making it a little bit smarter. Most people buy these pumps and they put them on a timer. We tied ours into our smart home hub and we use either this button or a light switch in the bathroom to turn the pump on and off automatically. So we don't even have to think about it, it just works. We spent about $150 US between the pump, the PEX, and this little smart button right here. Renovating our master bathroom kicked off this whole idea. I noticed that using the master bathroom, it took between 3 and 4 minutes to get hot water to our sinks. Now, we moved to our middle bathroom, away from the master as we were doing the renovation. I realized that the water got hot a lot faster in that bathroom, maybe about half the time. And then our sink in our kitchen gets hot the fastest. So I just kind of was thinking about that as we were doing this bathroom and decided to research it a little bit. And what I realized is that the master bathroom was the last set of fixtures on the hot water heater run. Now, what that means is that I could tap into the line there and loop it back to the hot water heater and put a pump to circulate hot water. It seemed foolproof because the master bathroom is on the end of the run. I have access to the very last pipe there and I can just link it back to the hot water heater. So let's go over to the whiteboard and I'll draw this to try to make a little more sense out of this situation. Okay, this is the point at which the water comes into my house. And it daisy chains its way to our hot water heater, which is here. So it comes to this bathroom, and then it comes to this bathroom, and then it goes to the kitchen, and then it goes to the washer and dryer, and then it goes to the hot water heater. Then from the hot water heater, it goes back to the washer and dryer. It goes back to the kitchen sink. Then it actually goes to this bathroom here, and then it ends in the master, just like that. So what I did was I created another line that went from this master bathroom back to the hot water heater. So now what I can do is I can actually circulate water, hot water, around here with a pump. I'm by no means the first person to think of this or come up with this. This is pretty standard for instant hot water. A lot of new houses, they'll actually insulate these lines so that you can run the pump more often. And now I know what you're thinking. Richard, doesn't running this pump, wouldn't that just kill my energy bill because I'm gonna constantly be cooling down the water in those lines? Yes. Unless you have built for that specific instance where you insulate these lines to reduce the heat loss, then yes, you absolutely would just get murdered on your energy bill or on your gas bill having to continually heat all that water that is circulating. So I added in this line, added the pump. I also added a check valve just so that when you have the pump off and you call for hot water at like a sink here, that it doesn't try to split the flow between these two lines, that it's still going to use that main line to bring you that hot water and you won't get reverse flow going this way. So that is one kind of important piece that I did. Also, I'm also going to point out, I'm not a plumber. Don't listen to me. I just want to show you this general idea that I had and a solution that's working pretty well for me and our household. So that's kind of where we are now. Just wanted to draw out the general plan for you there. What I've found is that in this bathroom, it takes between 3 and 4 minutes at the sink to get hot water. If I run the pump for 1 minute and then turn the faucet on, I get water in just a couple seconds that's very hot. If I turn the pump on and turn the faucet on at the same time, it takes between 45 seconds and a minute to get hot water because the pump is running. Okay, so now let's talk about what makes my setup a little unique. All my research online, most people were just using programmable timers to run their pump. So they would say, hey, in the morning time, this is usually when I'm in the bathroom, let's say like 7 a.m., 8 a.m., run the pump for an hour, something like that, and then running it again in the evening when you would shower. I didn't love that, one, because it seems like I'm going to be wasting like an hour of time because I'm not going to be in the bathroom running hot water for an hour. So I didn't need to run a timer for an hour. I just didn't really like that idea. I do have Amazon devices, so I have Alexa. Also, I have a SmartThings hub. So I figured, let's just utilize that to do this a little bit smarter instead of just running it for an hour. One solution is that you could just get a smart Wi-Fi plug and use like Google Assistant, use Alexa, use Siri, whatever, and just say, hey, turn the hot water on, and then it runs the pump. That would work just fine. Another thing you could do with that is tie that smart plug into your SmartThings hub or into your smart home hub, whatever you have, and you could tie it to something else. So what I did is I bought this little switch, and I will link this down below, that I got off Amazon. It was not very expensive, like less than $20. And I set up basically an algorithm that just says, hey, when this is pressed, turn the pump on for 1 minute. That's it. And then it turns the pump off. So you could put this next to a sink, put this in the bathroom, whatever. Very easy to just press this, and then in a minute you get hot water. But you might be thinking, okay, now I'm introducing a step that sounds dumb, whatever. And I totally understand that. So the next step that I went to is I made the light switch in my bathroom that turns the can lights on above my shower. I made a rule that when that light is turned on, it then runs the pump for a minute. So anytime I go into the bathroom, if I turn those specific set of lights on, it'll just run the pump for 1 minute. And that's plenty enough time to get hot water throughout the house, and then it shuts off. I'm not running water for 3 or 4 minutes trying to get that hot water. I just either wait a minute or just turn the faucet on immediately, and the maximum amount of time that I'm gonna have to wait to get hot water is 1 minute. So in the morning, I think this is really nice when my wife goes to like use the sink to get hot water to wash her face or something like that. Especially in the evening time, there's no just turning the hot water on, brushing your teeth. I know it doesn't seem like a big deal, right? Like, what's the big deal? Why go through this trouble? Why pay $100 for the pump or so? To me, one, I just wanted to try it out because I thought it was a cool idea. And two, just the amount of water that I'm wasting. I understand I'm in an area that doesn't have any issues with water. I'm fed by the Mississippi River. But there might be people out there that have to be really conscious about their water consumption. So that's why I'm sharing this video with you. I just didn't like the idea of running water for 3-4 minutes every time we wanted hot water. I figured there's got to be a better solution out there. And there is. If you're doing new construction, definitely look into insulating your whole run, getting a circulation pump, and that will be amazing for you. You'll save energy, and it'll be great. For someone else doing a retrofit, and you can't insulate those lines and you can't run the pump all the time, look into something like this. You can just run the pump for 1 minute at a time when you need it. I think that is a great solution. I hope that I've kind of given you some ideas to pursue in your setup. Again, this pump was less than $100 on Amazon. I will link it below. You do have to run power out there, so you're probably going to want to get an electrician and a plumber to get this set up for you. I do realize that this can be a complex setup because we had to run an additional water line. We had to get access to the water lines in the wall, but we had it anyway because we were doing a renovation of the bathroom. So all in all, it was a pretty low cost for us. Overall, it cost us $150 between the pump, the PEX line, the check valve, and this little button right here. Very inexpensive with great results. I do realize this is not going to be a solution that's going to work for everyone, but I'm hoping to give you some ideas for either if you're doing a renovation, if you've got new construction coming up, just to think about ways to be more efficient in your home. I think this is an awesome solution and so far has worked really well for us. Totally retrained us on how to use the shower. We're not turning the water on and then brushing our teeth. We are literally pressing this button and then jumping in the shower, turning on the hot water, and boom, we have instant hot water. It's very convenient. It really is nice. I know I'm just saying the same thing over and over, but it's a really small thing and inexpensive thing to do that makes a really big difference for convenience, I feel like. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. The most important thing that you can do is share this video because the YouTube algorithm loves that. So if you know someone who's going to build a home or who's remodeling or is a big DIYer, share this video with them because it might be very helpful for giving them ideas. Thank you so much for supporting and watching Break It Yourself, and we will see you next time.